Is this a resume?
Yeah.
Just have one
Right
on
now
me.
it's going, and you're the only one there, so it's like I'm gonna be like the player that gets in like a little later. Here it is. Yeah. No, nothing too new. I don't think I really prepared for this, any differently than I have in the past other games. Just, it's another game against a familiar opponent, and I did feel ready, and yeah, nothing new. I'm just going about my business.
Yeah, I didn't play my best game. He played a very good game, and the score reflects that. I do, looking at this, I was about 10% from three. He was about 60, 70. That's obviously going to affect the outcome. That's going to affect my ability to rack up points. So I do have a game plan going into the next game. I'm not going to share it at this moment, but I do have a plan that hopefully can turn this around and will change the flow of the game.
I do think I played my best game. Yeah. I shot well. I did everything well. There's not much more to say. I've been relying on my shot a lot the last few games. It's been getting hotter. My defense, I really think I've locked down. I'm in a zone that I haven't been in before, and I think that should be scary for him. It certainly is confidence boosting for me. And especially coming off the comments, hearing, leading up to this finals, my alcohol consumption, my arrests, my potential sexual deviance, I think that a lot of those things just helped fuel me. I never lost sight of what was in front of me.
Yeah. Not very much at all. I would say a very low score on that because, I look at the box score, I see a 3.26 GPA, and that's low. And I would expect higher from somebody in the BMA. I think that is a mark of shame upon him. And what we're trying to do here, because the 3.26 is pathetic. It shows a certain delinquency, I think. And, it's in black and white right in front of me. 70% from three, but behind the books, he's helpless. And he's not a shooter at all. So yeah, looking at that number, it does make me realize that all I need to do is come out with any sort of complex scheme whatsoever, and maybe just something that he might have to read or analyze, and he'll be unable to do it based on these numbers here. So that does affect my plan going forward. And yeah, I'll consider that absolutely. But to answer your question, no, he isn't, not at all. You like that one, huh? That was a good one.
The funniest part of that is you were talking about my GPA, and you said that when I started laughing, when you were like, and it's black and white here, he did shoot 70% from three, so that my GPA and my game one shooting percentage on the same sheet.
If you go back in the tape, when you were giving your answer, you'll see me smile. It's when I saw that, and I had the idea, and I'm just like, oh. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, and I think, I don't know about, using the term summer fling. I think that what happens. I'm obviously, I'm sitting right here, I'm hoping it continues. That's something that I don't think that should affect. And I think that's something to talk about maybe after the series, but my feelings on that haven't changed. My feelings for him haven't changed.
Sexual. It's remained that way. It hasn't changed, and no amount of no amounts of wins or losses can really change those feelings off the court. But that certainly doesn't preclude violence on either of our parts. And we know getting into something like that it is volatile. It is potentially catastrophic, likely catastrophic. And we're both prepared for such a contingency plan to deal with that violence and to deal with that bloodshed. So we both know about threats that have been made. OPD is aware of threats that have been made, and let's say this: in 5 years, if one of us isn't behind bars, I would consider that a win.
Bad. The diet's been bad. That's the only place I think I was really lacking coming into this game. Did he make a couple good plays? Yeah, but it's the finals. I'm not going to count his defense against me as poor play on my part. I still put up a lot of points on him. So, to answer the first part of your question, no, I don't think that's valid. You had a couple blocks. I had a couple blocks. Okay, fine. I had one block. But, I don't think that changes my answer. I'm seeing that, he had much lower shooting percentage in the paint. Obviously, much lower from three. But to follow that up, I do think my failure coming into this game was the diet. I've not been eating well leading up to this. I've been at 2 different ale houses in the last 2 weeks. And that's something that I'll improve. That's something that, I need to go home and look at that. And I'll look at the tape and I'll look at the measuring tape and see, where I have to trim some things. But, I think coming into game 2, I ease off of the carbs a little bit. I don't expect a different outcome.
No, I'm not sure. It says here, mostly NBA podcast. Was it all NBA? I don't know. It's a strange name if they're going to be talking about anything other than the NBA to put it in the title like that. But no, I certainly have never listened. I don't plan on listening. I can't imagine there's anything that I would hear there that would interest me whatsoever. There's probably only things that would hurt me if I were to listen, hurt me emotionally, hurt me physically. And, if there was going to be something other than NBA in that podcast and he was to put NBA in the title in that way, I think that could only serve to deceive people. So I can't really speak to that. Obviously, he shot well from 3, but it does say mostly NBA podcast there. So for that to be there, to answer your question, I don't think that he is considerate of people that might be listening to him speak. I don't think he's considerate of people that might be watching him play. And frankly, I don't think he's considerate of gender differences in the plight of women. And that is very clear by, we are playing exclusively at the Strand because of the horrific sexist practices at Goldenrod Arena. And that arena has been shut down and has been demolished because of the sexist practices of that arena. So he can speak to that, and I'll let him speak to that, but I have to imagine anything that comes out of his mouth will be horrific.
Equal no. No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a good one too. I ruined it. Okay.
Well, no, and I can stop you right there. Equal no. There are things that we like about having them there. A couple things in particular.
How many things?
I can think of 4 off the top of my head. And that's good enough for me. But obviously we don't want them, you know what I'm saying? We don't want them more ingrained in our league than that. And that's something that we've always stood by. And, we'll look at it. We'll look at the, the CBA is up next year. And I think we've got good representation in the Players Union. We'll look at it. But no, I don't think equal is the word to use there. I'm going to split it up into another one. Hold on.